Landscape with Invisible Hand is the story of a young man coming of age and falling in and out of love in a world that has been taken over by aliens.
My own offspring, in fact, began watching it regularly.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
However, it has recently become obvious that you're deceiving your viewers.
What?
Deceiving.
I have been studying them since before you were born. You may have been in love at the beginning of your series, but you are no longer. Your biology betrays you. Your cheeks no longer fill with blood in the other's presence. Your palms no longer produce fluid.
What was really radical and interesting about M.T. Anderson's book is the way that it does subvert this, these sort of alien invasion tropes. So rather than the aliens coming in with power and force and being these big scary aliens, this is the story of a purely economic takeover. Aliens that just come in and have very strong industry, very strong productive capacity, and cause Earth to be just sort of a part of their economic empire. Like longer than you think you need. I'm a big believer that humor and darkness work best together, that humor and emotion balance one another out really well. And this was a story that if you treat it one way, it's very, very dark, intense story. It could go maudlin. If you treat it another way, it could go totally bizarre and over the top and kind of farcical. And what I loved about the book was the way that it didn't fall into either one of those extreme tones. It really did a wonderful job of being funny and sad and disturbing at the same time. So that was something that we were aiming for with the movie. We really wanted to use this kind of deadpan, anxious, uncomfortable humor to kind of cut the darkness and seriousness of the world and of the themes. Good, Adam, come forward. Back. This movie really came together during the COVID pandemic in what felt like a pretty hopeless time. And one of the things I really loved about M.T. Anderson's book was in this very still sort of cynical, truthful, dark way, it still offers a hopeful message about what art can do, about the purpose of sort of expressing yourself artistically and the importance of staying true to who you are. And I thought there was something very oddly hopeful and very sort of beautiful within this very dark, cynical world about the notion that what makes us human fundamentally is something worth defending and worth holding on to in the face of adversity.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna make me something for lunch.
Sit.
I've wanted to work with Tiffany since Girls Trip. I really think she's a comic genius and also has this real dramatic chops as well. And I think this was a really fun role for her that really let her flex those comic instincts, but also did ask her to carry a real dramatic weight, and I think she did a fantastic job with that. I think our actors made this wonderful, convincing family, which is always important in casting, and it was a real joy working with all of them. More like the speed of the second one, so as slow as you can possibly go without doing this step, which is funny. I actually kind of like that. But as slow as you can possibly go while keeping a with like a little, yeah, nice, interesting, yeah.